And the last of the videos here, line of best fit is up next. Let me go grab a better calculator. That old one. Something that actually more closely represents what you'll be using. So I'm going to grab a new one. I am going to put the X's in list 1. I'm going to put the Y's into list 2. So it's probably been a month since you've done this. You go to Stat, Edit, ta-da. So all the X's go into list 1.5, 1.5, 2.25, 3.5, 4. But Mr. Milbrath, we've already done this before. Why are we doing this again? It's called repetition, kids. You want to remember something, you do it a whole bunch of times. That's how it works. All right. You can throw in the percentages as decimals if you want, but I'm just going to leave them as percentages. There's no reason to put 0.38. It actually makes a lot more sense to leave them as percentages. All right, so I'm going to double check, make sure I got everything in right. Lord knows if I make a mistake, y'all tell me about it. Because I'd tell you. Be like, hey, you missed something. All right, so after I've got that in there, I'm going to quit out, second quit. So second quit. I wonder what's up with that red tint, man. I bet it's the contrast of the calculator. It's trying to fix that lighting situation. I don't know. I'm going to quit out of it. And I'm going to go back to Stat, Calc, Linear Regression. Oh, sorry. I want 4. Ax plus b. So Stat, Calc, Lin Reg. That's what most of y'all will probably say to yourself. Ax plus b. And then I'm just going to scroll down to the Calculate button. And there's my equation. See, it gives you y equals ax plus b. So y is 10.207x plus 20.241. I usually go out 3 decimal places. It's not like I make your test or anything. All right, using your equation from 1, determine the probability of failing 2 or more classes if you spend 2 hours on TikTok per day. That's easy. Plug a 2 in. You're going to find y sub 2. So 10 times 2.07 times 2. Sorry, 10.207 times 2 plus 20.241. $40.655. And that is the percent chance of failing. Kids always say, I didn't have time, I didn't have time, I didn't have time. BS. You had time. You had lots of time. It's how you spend your time. All right, a company selling lawnmowers, let's say it's MTD, has determined that the revenue given price for a certain model obeys the equation R sub P, revenue is a function of price, is negative 1/4 P squared plus 8,000 P minus 15,000. At what price is revenue maximized? So this is like the third time on this quiz. X equals opposite B over 2A. All right. A is a negative 1/4. B is 8,000. And C is negative 15,000. So I'd have opposite B, which is 8,000. I would divide that by twice a negative 1/4. And boy, that's going to throw a lot of y'all off in a calculator. You got to do it like this. I'll show you 2 ways. One way is to make sure you use your parentheses right. It's one of my commandments in math. Always wrap 2 or more things. That'll give you the right answer. Okay, negative 16,000. I don't know if you've noticed it on these faceplates yet, but you see that X there? There's a fraction key. Hit alpha X. And then you don't have to worry about parentheses. You can just type in 8,000 over 2 times, or parentheses, whatever you want, negative 1 over 4, negative 16,000. The X coordinate is negative, but that doesn't make a lick of sense. Oh, because this was supposed to be negative, wasn't it? There we go. Positive 16,000. The X value, or the price value, is $16,000. Pretty expensive mower. They think highly of themselves. Must be a big, gigantic zero turn. What is the maximum revenue? That is found by plugging that in. The maximum revenue happens when the price is 16,000. So we're going to find the revenue of charging 16 grand for a mower. I know some of y'all think that's just for a lawnmower. Oh yeah, easy. Negative 1/4 16,000 squared plus 8,000 times 16,000 minus 15 grand. So I have no idea what that is. Take 16,000 and square it. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to type the whole thing in. Negative 1 over 4 times 16,000, that is squared. Then I have plus 8,000 times 16,000, and then minus 15,000. There's their maximum revenue. $64 million almost. Now that's just one model too, by the way. You know, if we're talking about this being John Deere, they'd probably go ahead and do it, but that's not a whole lot of money to John Deere. MTD, that's big money. That's big money. What are the two break-even prices? Well, you break even. I should reword that. I'm going to reword that. When is revenue zero? According to this function, when is revenue zero? It doesn't happen where you think it would happen. I wouldn't think it would. You would think it happens when you sell 0 lawnmowers. All right? That's what you think, right? No, it doesn't. There's a certain cost or price they charge that doesn't quite meet the needs of having a factory and having employees and getting your supply routes in place and things like that. So let's change that to when is revenue zero. That's what it should be. I guess break even still does make sense. When is break even? When is, I don't know. Anyways, I need to reword that one. So the break even happens when you hit zero. All right. Zero equals negative 1/4 p squared plus 8,000p minus 15,000. So this is one of those, let's hope I did my job right, because I didn't think too long about this problem, so maybe I made something that didn't factor. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to multiply both sides by a negative 4. You could also divide by a negative quarter or whatever. Multiply a 0 by a negative 4, you still got 0. This, a negative quarter times a negative 4 is 1, so p squared. Negative 4 times 8,000 minus 32,000p. And negative 4 times a positive 15 times a negative 15,000 is 60,000. I obviously need to be done. I can't talk anymore. So did I create something that factors? Because that's all you know how to do so far. I think I did. To create a p-value, to factors of 60,000 that add to 32,000 are 60, thinking about factors of 60 and 32. It's going to be 30 and 2. If they're both negative, I did not create something that factors, did I? Ooey. This does not factor. Oh, okay, so fudge. That stinks. All right, so we're just going to omit this. Won't be on the test. If I keep it on the test, it will be a bonus. And you're going to use the quadratic formula. I would love to sit here and work with this. I just don't have enough time to do it. But if factors of 60,000 were 2,000 and 30,000, I'd be in shape. And maybe you're like, well, what do you mean, Mr. Milbrath? It can't be 2,000 times 30,000. It's the wrong number. So, like I said, hope I do my job right. I didn't understand the assignment. 19, solve for x. 64x cubed minus 256x is nothing. Personally, what I would do is I would pull an x out from each of these two pieces. And what I should have also done is I should have also pulled a 64. When I pull that 64 out as well, I have something that factors quite easily. X squared minus 4 is supposed to be the thing that everybody and their mama can factor. It factors x minus 2 times x plus 2. Then I use my cover-up idea. I have 3 zeros there. 64x is nothing, x minus 2 is nothing, or x plus 2 is nothing. Top one tells me that x is 0 because I divide both sides by 64. The middle one tells me x is 2, and the last one tells me that x is negative 2. Easy peasy. 20, solve for x. This would be guess and check all day long. The three factors are not divisible by anything. I'm going to go with 9x and 2x to create an 18x squared. And 15, 3 and 5. Opposite of the order I set them. The outside would make negative 27x, and the inside would make plus 10x. Goal in the middle, negative 17. So 9x plus 5 is nothing, or 2x minus 3 is nothing. Two-step equations. 9x is negative 5, or 2x is 3. X is negative 5/9, or x is 3/2. 21 looks intimidating, doesn't it? You multiply by the LCD. That's all you do. So the LCD is x squared. X enters x squared x times. X squared enters x squared one time. And there's a 1 there. 1 enters x squared times. Really funny to say it like that. Distribute x squared to everything. You'll have x squared minus 9x equal to negative 8. You'll add 8 to both sides, and then you will factor. All right? It seems to me that negative 8 minus 1 is negative 9, so that's how she factors. My x values are 8 or 1. 22, this was the lesson I actually taught today, which was to solve by taking square roots. Divide by 4. X minus 3 squared is 16. Take the square root. X minus 3 is plus or minus 4. Easy peasy. X is going to be 3 plus 4 or 3 minus 4. So x is either 7 or x is negative 1. Two answers there. And the last one, and I can go home for the day, which is what I've been working for all day. It's Monday, by the way, when I recorded this one. Look at this guy. What is this guy? This isn't as bad as you want it to be. I put this on here because you already know about imaginary numbers. So anyways, the opposite of multiplication is division. The opposite of squaring is square rooting. And the square root of negative 16 is 4i. You okay with that? I hope you are. Remember that I is the root of negative 1. So when I see the square root of negative 16, I can think of that as the root of negative 1 times the root of 16. And that was assigned to y'all. So you should understand this. I'm going to add 3. 3 plus or minus 4i. And then I'm just going to write my two answers. I am 3 plus 4i, or I am 3 minus 4i. And that, boys and girls, is done. And I'm going home. See you Tuesday.